So these guys, first of all, good morning, YouTube. This is the Funky Bunch. They finally get along now. So this tank is drastically calmed down. I'll clean it soon. I'm just waiting for this piece of wood to kind of sink and get all the hair. I don't want to change the water while it's still doing its process, and then I have to change the water again. So this is kind of what got them to calm down. I put the wood in there, so some of them hang up at the top. They have levels. But yeah, they've calmed down drastically. There's not a whole lot of fighting and picking at each other. So it's got the African red jewel cichlids in there. It's got red tears in here. The Salvanis and it's got the Texas, and it's got the gold suam. I feed them the bug bite fluval cichlid and the bottom feeders because the vampire, the algae, and the vampire, the green and the blue phantom are in here. So just so that it'll make it to the bottom. But you got the little firemouth in there. So yeah, this tank is drastically calmed down in terms of aggression. It's not so aggressive anymore. It was in the beginning when I first threw everybody in there, of course. But yeah, everybody's kind of found their place and it's calmed down. So I don't worry about this tank so much anymore. It's actually a fun tank to watch. But I'm gonna go ahead and feed them. And that's kind of, so they don't even fight over the food anymore. They just all kind of just eat in harmony. I'm kind of glad about that one because I thought I might lose some fish just because at the time I did this, I didn't know that red jewels were African cichlids. I thought they were Central American cichlids, since every time you go to a pet store, red jewels are always housed with South American cichlids. So I just assumed that they were South American cichlids. I never even read the placard. I just figured they were South American, and then I get them home and I'm like looking for South care on them, like they're like African cichlids, and then it just made sense why they were so aggressive in the beginning. But they seem to make peace with the centrals, and he's starting to show a little bit of his red. He's usually yellow, but he's red. He's a red cichlid. So they're at peace now. So ain't a whole lot of tail nipping and fighting going on in here. They pretty much hang out in the little spaces. So gonna get some more wood to put on this side because they took the wood out of here. It was just a bigger tank at the time, so I just put the wood in here to go in there with the Jack Dempsey. Like I said, he's by himself now because he's lost his mind. But yeah, so if you're wondering how I got Africans and South Americans to calm down in this tank, it's pretty much that piece of wood, giving them levels to hang out in. Like I said, the bigger 2 and 3 inch fish, they kind of like hang out towards the bottom, and the little 2-inchers, they kind of hang out in the middle, and the little guys, they just kind of just swim all the way through the holes. And you know what I'm saying, that's probably my prettiest one. That's my best colored red jewel. Like I said, this tank will get cleaned out soon. It's just, when you put wood in the tank, it got to go through this process of all this algae hair. And like I said, it's usually, this one's taking a little bit longer than normal because it's a bigger piece of wood. So I just took it out the tank yesterday and brushed a lot of it off, and it's starting the process again. So I'm sure it's gonna do this about another 1 or 2 times before you just won't see any algae on it. So I'll probably clean the tank out in about another week, and then brush the hair and repeat the process. But yeah, a whole lot peacefuler than it was last week, and it was just Thunderdome, but it's pretty. Yeah, they get along now. Thank God.